So delighted to be here on completion of 25 years. My journey with this institution had started sometime in 97 when the concept started taking shape that we need a premier institution in in Hyderabad, because we had dreams of giving serious competition to Bangalore and various other cities. We actually didn't count other cities, but we always saw Bangalore as the one that we have to compete with. And in 98, I was sort of enticed back by Mr. R. Chandrasekhar, saying there's something very interesting that needs to be done here. Come back from Government of India, come back here. I came in and found that this IIIT idea has taken a good root, and it started on 25th of April. I remember 9th May. We had a huge meeting and industry meeting. I think that was foundation stone of the high-tech city, and then or some event related to high-tech city. There was a presentation in Krishna Oberoi. NASSCOM made that presentation about the model. EDSIL had done, NASSCOM and EDSIL had created the model. The EDSIL is Educational Consultants of India, Dr. Yajlu Meduri. And with that, this concept was given some shape, the schools of excellence, and then a university or an educational, high quality educational institution, nestled among schools of excellence. And IBM, Oracle, Microsoft, Satyam at that time, and Metamor, these were the 5 initial entities. Later on, Motorola also joined in. And then by around 12th or 13th of May, I think there was a major decision to be made. This was the year 1998. And the decision was, when do we start the institution? And a very dramatic kind of a decision was made that we'll start this year. This is around 13th or 14th of May, and we have to start in this academic year. And I was the midwife to deliver. The government and the ecosystem is pregnant with this idea, and I have to deliver the institution and get the classes started in this academic year. Because the coming year would have been elections, and we didn't know, we needed to start and get it to a safe stage so that the idea doesn't sort of roll back in that period. So from May, it was so fortuitous that I found all the stars aligned. Professor Sangal, IIT Kanpur professor, 17 years, one of the doyens of research, was found I found him in University of Hyderabad, in handling language technology research in University of Hyderabad, because University of Hyderabad had a very good linguistics team. Professor Govindrajlu, one of the finest professors in computer science, head of computer science in Warangal, he was in IBM School of Excellence here. And Professor Kaul, having retired somewhere else, IIT Kharagpur, a Kashmir person, settling down here. So we found everyone sort of, everything happening to make it happen. And we actually conducted an entrance exam in the month of June, announced the results, a nationwide entrance exam, 4 centers here, 15 centers across the country, and we selected 50 students. And we were not a university, we were not a recognized college, we were an institution with a great dream. So we went initially to the joint entrance exam system. We just made a query, knowing that there is no chance. We said, can we take students from the joint entrance exam? So they gave us some 20 different reasons, as to why it simply cannot be even thought of. And in any case, it was very late in the day. So at that stage, I remember saying, and this sticks to my mind, I have mentioned it earlier, that this institution may be an infant, but it is a royal infant. It will grow to be the king. So don't so don't look at us this way. This may be an infant, but it's a royal infant and it will grow to be the king. And I think it's moving in that direction. Professor Sangal and I spent countless evenings and in sort of late evenings dreaming up what it needs to be, with the experience of what has happened in IITs, in other institutions. Because this institution was not just conceptualized for education. It was conceptualized to be the Stanford of our to-be Silicon Valley. It was conceptualized as the MIT of the sort of what happened around that area, Route 128 and others. So it had to start with undergraduate program, because I had a deep belief that without an undergraduate program, you cannot get the finest of students. And it had to have research as well. So we had to do two things which sort of IISc at that point represented the finest in research, and IITs represented the finest in technology education. We had to marry those two ideas, and in an institution which is just sort of a fledgling institution. So I think and then we had the limitation of its being a computer science focused institution, limitation and strength. So as to how do you compete with the established ecosystem? How do you because to compete with MIT, your aspiration is, your eyes are set on MIT, CMU and Stanford. How do you grow that in wilderness or in a place which is as a startup institution? So I think it's a wonderful journey. We were able to build a lot of concepts and models. The concept which has maybe sort of retarded its progress to a little extent, that we should keep it independent of government. This is not, Professor Satyanarayana, it is not a private institution. It is not a government institution. It is a public institution. And I believe that that's a very important concept. So keeping it independent, it has more flexibility, more autonomy than any other institution I know of. That we must keep it autonomous, because that is what will not place any cap on what heights it can go to. So that's what we started with. I think we took advantage of its being a computer science institution, because we could start with computer science on day one. In IITs, the limitation was that they start with breadth and then they go to depth. Professor Sangal narrated, a dream that needed to be set for the institution. That what if a student comes in with the dream of building a rocket? He said, if that happens in Kanpur or in any of the other very well established institutions, the professors will say, first you do your maths, physics, chemistry and everything, and then third year you'll come to the department, then we'll talk about it. By third year, the boy has forgotten that he had that dream. So Professor Raj Reddy in very early period actually told us about Dr. Edwin Land and the dream he set for MIT. That not just to produce high quality engineers. How do you produce greatness? How do you produce the chance to be great, not just highly competent? I think those are some of the ideas that have shaped this. This was a lecture, I think, given by Dr. Edwin Land in MIT in 1956 or some long, I don't remember exactly, but these are some of the concepts that went into shaping this institution. I think it has come up, it's a huge work that has been done. It's a extremely strong foundation, and now it's time to take off into the, it's like our Chandrayaan. It was, some people criticized it for being a little slow because it sort of catapulted to be the sort of most efficient, low energy way of getting to the moon. I think we have probably taken a very similar route. It's time to get catapulted into a very different orbit. Thank you.